Hi, so how was your week?
It's very good. A lot of activities like tennis and sports and weights at the beginning of the week.
That's good. So how did the behavior change that we talked about go for you this week? Like we did mention and talked about the like change of diet, so like increased like eating 3 meals a day properly, and then increasing your protein intake in order to help supplement with the building of mass, and then like extra exercise, extra like weight sessions, like going 4 times a week instead of just three. So how did those turn out this week?
Well, this week I started eating. I've always eaten 3 meals a day, but this week specifically I tried to eat more quantities of food for those 3 meals and more protein to build up my mass a little bit more.
That's good.
And between my meals, I felt I could still kind of feel my food in my stomach because I ate so much, but I think I might be getting used to eating more amounts of food, but I feel like it could contribute to my muscle mass a lot more than it did before because I have all this energy and food to be used up.
Well, that's good. It's good that you're really trying out the increase the amount of your eating, and that it is helping you feel like more with more energy and to fuel you throughout the exercises and what you're doing. Do remember that we want to increase like quantity is good and quality as well, not just quantity, because like we don't want you to be like stuffing yourself with just
Yeah.
food. Like even if you're like full and you're still trying to eat more, like that's not going to be healthy, obviously. Just like what you eat, like adding a lot of proteins in, and carbs, complex carbs are always good. Just increasing the amount of those in your diet will help you with that increase in mass and in energy and building those muscles that you're wanting to make. So that's good that you're doing that. The how did the weights go? Like the increased amount of exercise and
That
weights.
went well as well, but I mean, I haven't really noticed that much of a change since I just started, but I feel like it could be very helpful since I have more protein intake that could help my muscle growth faster since before I had less protein, and I think it could help out.
Okay, that's good. You said that the increased like the amounts of like the food and stuff is helping you like get through the training, or
In a way, I think so. I always got through the training fine,
okay,
but I'm just thinking that maybe it'll help my muscle mass like go faster than before.
that's good. Okay, and the increased amount of training, like the more session, the since you're doing it more times in a week than you used to, is that how do you feel about that? Like, is that like you feeling at a good spot where you're not like too worked out too much, or are you feeling weak, or is it like at a good point where you feel good and you feel strong throughout the week?
I feel pretty good and solid throughout the week, and yeah, I haven't felt that much of a change, but I feel in the future it'll help out a lot, just slowly.
Okay, that's good. Did you were there any like was it hard, or like were there any barriers that came up like to like were making it hard to like meet those goals that you're setting? Like are there any like barriers that come up to like stopping you from getting the proper amount of meals and food, or you from getting your scheduled practices in?
Well, it was a lot easier in Phoenix to get the proper amount of food because the food was paid for at restaurants and delis, but I feel that at NAU there's less amounts of varieties of food that I could choose from. So I would to get the amount of protein that I want, I would just have to eat a lot of vegetables or only certain amounts of chicken that they have because their variety isn't that wide compared to when I had the food that the coach could buy us.
Yeah. So definitely like budgeting and the budgeting and the availability of the food, like good food here on campus is still a barrier that you need to work. You still need to figure out. We still need to figure out how to work around, and so you can really get that what you want.
Yes.
All right. Have you figured out some ways that you can do better with your diet, like while you're on campus?
I was just
Like
thinking.
new places you found, or like buying some extra fruit and vegetables, or things like that to eat.
Well, so far, Cabrizo is okay because they have a lot of meat they like and choose from and eat, but it's not the best. Star ginger I can't because it's all fried food and it's not the most beneficial for me. The hotspot has several choices that have lots of vegetables and food like salmon and chicken that I could use
Yeah.
and eat a lot of, and it just wouldn't be that much of a variety. The Dub has good amounts of chicken and vegetables that I can eat, and also fruit. And it also has a different chicken station that I sometimes can eat from, which is nice. So I think it has more of a variety than the Hotspot.
Mhm.
And then there's Subway that could be helpful. It's not the best because they don't give you that much meat, just the little pieces of salami and pepperoni and stuff like that, and roast beef. But then Qdoba, they can give you the bowls and fill up a ton of it with chicken or ground beef, and also with rice and I'd say like lettuce. So that could be helpful as well to mix it up with Qdoba and the Dub.
Okay, so those sounds like you know quite a bit of the different places that you can go and get good, better meals in order to meet those goals that you're setting. Are those the main places that you go since you can meet your goals there?
Yeah, usually I go to the Dub, or Subway, or Qdoba. And Subway because they give chocolate milks out after, and that could also be beneficial towards my muscle growth, but I'm not completely sure because I've heard that chocolate milk is a good post-workout drink.
Definitely milk is always good, and chocolate. Some like after working out it's good to like have something for that too because it really helps you maintain your muscle growth. So now that you've had a chance to try out these changes, how do you think they're going, and do you think those are working out well for you, or do we need to make some changes here?
I think I need to keep on going on this same path to see my results and maybe increase it to 5 workouts a week, but I think 4 workouts should be sufficient, and just make sure that I continue to eat high amounts of protein every meal, every day to keep up that protein intake so I could get the most efficient workouts and muscle growth, and then see after a couple weeks or maybe a month of that, see how big of a change it's made on me, and then maybe test out other options.
Okay, so you're saying for the diet you need a little bit more time to really see the change. Okay, that makes sense. And if you think that it's working so far and you just need some more time, that we can continue on with that. You mentioned possibly increasing the amount of sessions, like from 4 to 5 sessions a week, which is good if you feel like that's like 4 is not enough and you want more. It depends on like how you're feeling with like energy levels and stuff like that. So I'm guessing, do you feel good like energy wise and throughout your week even though you've done 4 sessions and you want to increase it?
Yes, energy wise, I feel pretty good throughout the week. I just need to make sure that I get enough sleep every night, at least 7 hours, because I've heard that if you get less than 7 hours of sleep or you don't have enough, then workouts can be very inefficient or they won't help out your muscle growth at all. And it's very essential for you to get enough sleep for your muscles to be ready for the next workout. So I feel like that should be a big factor in my plan as well.
Definitely the amount of sleep you get affects your ability to work out and to your body to be in that much stress when you're working out. So the amount of sleep is more sleep with the increase of exercise. More sleep is needed to like help you recover from that, and that's a good idea, good thing to have in mind. Was there anything difficult about attempting these changes?
Just getting used to eating that much food was a change for me because sometimes I wouldn't eat until I'm completely full or just eat until I feel fine. So it definitely got some getting used to. But since I definitely have this changed mindset of wanting to gain this muscle mass, it hasn't been that difficult. And it's just been a matter of figuring out what specific foods and proteins I need to eat to help my muscle growth and not just eat any random food like junk food and stuff like that, because I would be setting myself back a little bit and not helping as much as if I ate a whole bunch of proteins and loading up on carbs like you said.
Okay. Well, that's good to that you noticed like the changes and like how it was difficult and things you still need to focus on. Will you think that you've gotten used to it now that it's been a week and you kind of gotten more used to it now, or do you think you still going to take a little more time to get used to it?
I've pretty much gotten used to it. Only a couple times I'll think of maybe what tastes the best versus what has the most protein, but most of the time I'm pretty set to just eating what's best for my body and what will help my muscle growth the most.
Yeah, that's good. So what challenges so now that you kind of know the challenges that you've kind of had to get past and get used to, and we're going to continue on with this, what challenges do you think might be a problem, like moving forward with these changes?
I think maybe the struggle of not seeing results as quickly might be a challenge, because if I'm eating all this food and I don't see results that quickly, I might think that maybe my metabolism is too quick and that I'm not able to gain this muscle mass, but it might actually take longer in reality than some other people, because many people in my family are very slim. So it's just a matter of getting past that like mind barrier of thinking that I'm not able to get to this size or gain this muscle mass just because of I guess my genetics, as some people would say.
Yeah, definitely. So just being able to like not being like negative, thinking that you won't be able to make it, being positive about moving forward, that you can make it and you can reach these goals that you've set. That's good. That's definitely definitely something that you need to be able to work past and get through. It's good that you noticed that, and you can tell that might be a problem later on. Do you have any ideas of how to overcome this barrier that you recognize?
Maybe recording my weight would be a good idea, and seeing how much weight I've gained or lost over the weeks, but maybe also taking photos of my progress to see how far I've gotten, because if I don't see like my progress, then I might just think, oh, I look the same, but in reality I might have gained like some mass that I wouldn't have realized. It's just because it's been going at a slow process.
Yeah.
So that could be helpful as well.
That's good. It's a good way of thinking to try to get past that barrier. Do you mind if I give you some advice with what has like worked with other clients when doing this? So with a lot of times when doing that, although to a certain degree it's good to record your weight and be able to see that progress, but it's easy to also be obsessed with the with checking all the time, and that can also lead to have a reverse effect and making a more negative effect on it. It's good to like have certain periods of times where you can check, like have a set period of times, like every 2 weeks or every you can check your weight and be able to see that time. But like if you're checking it every day or like becoming too frequently checking it, then it can lead to problems with being depressed about the results, like not getting there fast enough, that kind of thing. So definitely something to be aware of and know. Yeah. So now that what additional goals do you think that we might want to add on, since you've kind of gotten the hang of the goals that we've added on, and you can seem to be handling it well, and there's not seem to be too much of a challenge for you yet. What additional goals do you think we should add on?
I think once I add on the muscle mass or that extra weight, I'd like to make sure that I'm also very explosive and quick as I am now, because since I don't have that much mass and weight and I'm fairly tall, I'm still like fairly nimble and quick because I've grown into my body now. But I'm afraid if I gain that extra mass that I won't be as explosive and as quick, because I see some of these bigger guys that have this extra muscle mass and they're very slow on the court and they can't get to the ball as quickly and their foot speed is a lot slower. So I'd like to make sure that I also keep that as well, or gain it back after I gain my muscle mass.
Sounds good. So basically you're saying you don't want to lose your speed and explosiveness while trying to gain this mass. Instead, try to keep both to increase at the same time so that you can continue to be fast and nimble and be able to play tennis and not let it affect your nimbleness in tennis. Okay, that's good. What do you think any ideas of how you want to do that?
Maybe do certain exercises or weight training exercises that are aimed towards explosiveness and stuff like that. Or maybe after I gain the muscle mass, I could try to lose a little bit of the weight and just become more, not slim, but like within that mass, like the larger mass, like a little bit like slimmer, I guess. That's what I guess just slimmer in that larger mass. Like gain the muscle mass, that'd be a lot more than I am now, and then just lose a little bit just to be faster, more nimble, and then do those same explosive exercises so I could get used to that new weight.
Yeah. Okay. So so what you're saying is adding some explosive exercises to continue that explosiveness, and then like gaining that mass that you want, and then working on the explosive and speed part.
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay if I share a little bit on that training style and topic that has worked with other patients? Okay. So it's best to have like the mass that you want to need. If you want mass and strength, increasing that and the speed and nimbleness at the same time is the best way. If you were to focus on getting completely body mass and then like getting that speed back to catch up with the strength, that would be very difficult and very mentally hard kind of training. It's possible, but it's very tough on you to achieve that. Much more tough than if you were to increase both at the same time.
Okay.
So like, for example, if you were to, like the explosive exercises, those are definitely a good way to keep that. But then you could also like incorporate some like speed or some drills that will help you with the speed, like at the end of the weight. So like you lift weights and then have a little bit of extra time and you do like some sprints and some running so that you continue that, keep that speed instead of like letting it decrease. That way you're increasing both at the same time instead of just one and then increasing the other one afterwards. And it'll be much easier for you. Just taxing it, much less taxing on your body because you'll be keeping them both at the same time, you know?
Okay.
Does that sound like a plan that will work with the, you can work into your schedule and you can add that in, okay?
That sounds like a good plan, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, so focusing on, so this next week you can like focus on adding some explosiveness and speed drills like after your weights in order to keep that speed and increase the speed. And then diet, continue on what we're doing. We're gonna see a little bit longer if it's helping you enough or if we need to make any changes after that. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's good. All right then. That sounds good. Good plan. I'll see you in a week and we can figure out see how well you've progressed and if there are any other changes that we did make.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.